In the last episode, you got to see a bit about Chem Sensitive Artists. And in this episode, I'll show you how I stay safe. Yeah, so it's a given that you're going to wear safety glasses and you're going to wear nitrile gloves and get good ventilation in there and also use a mask. But what you're looking at here is you're looking at some barrier cream that I use on my cheeks and on my neck. And then you're also looking at my long sleeve shirt that I wear. I'm actually thinking about getting a white lab coat because I think that'd be great. And some cotton tights. Cheesecloth is a must if, especially for me, if I've got, it's allergy season outdoors. I do have, hay fever and the regular dust allergies that some people have. So by putting cheesecloth in the mask, it just acts as an added extra to prevent any impurities in the air from getting into my respiratory system. And then also having these headphones, or you can actually go down to Home Hardware or Home Depot and actually get ear protectors, especially if you're going to be using, and this is where I use it when I'm doing any high-speed drilling or any high-speed polishing. For me, I like to flush my system with water or herbal tea. I try to cut down on my caffeine. I just find that coffee is very dehydrating, sugary drinks, those sorts of things. But for me, I think it's essential that I keep the impurities out of my system, even while going outside and in the environment we're not necessarily protected from smog, etc. So keeping a nice clean system and hydrating is essential in my process. I'm really glad to get this NorPro pasta machine. I got the NorPro pasta machine and I did get the motorized attachment. Not because I'm lazy, just because I think it's it does speed up your process, whereas cranking all the time, you can do two things at once. You can just push it through very quickly, then lay it out and get right to business. So I really like this pasta machine. I got it off of Amazon, and the pasta machine and the motor, the two of them combined, I think I paid about $150. I got them at two different times. So I got the motorized attachment first because I thought that was what I was getting. I thought I was getting the motorized attachment and machine, but then when I got it from Amazon, I discovered that I had to get the correct pasta machine to fit it. Something else that I use with the NorPro is I take advantage of the other attachments that come with it that make linguine or any sort of small pasta. You will see that when I sort of work on my process and I discuss some more about how I take full advantage of all the accessories on this machine. I was kind of hesitant to get any sort of oven. I was going to use funny enough, I was going to use a heat gun, but I came to my senses very quickly and decided that I would get a convection oven. It was on sale at Canadian Tire here in Canada, so that's what I did. Is I got it for about $36, which is fantastic, right along, right within my budget. The only thing is I do find it a little bit small, and I will probably have to get a bigger convection oven in future. So this is a great product. It's fast cast. It's a polyurethane. It's a thermoset material, which means that it kicks by heating up, and then once I guess it's about like 10 minutes it'll set up initially, and then you can post cure it for as long as you want if you're looking at making it a little bit tougher. I use this sometimes as a base for my polymer clay, so I'll use, I'll make a little something, and then I'll wrap the polymer clay around, and yeah, I will stick it in the oven. We will talk about flashpoints in an upcoming video. And of course, art resin, a favorite. Very well tolerated. I still use it with good ventilation, and you'll see in the pictures, that's me moving the box with a gloved hand, only because I spilt it all down the packaging on the outside. It was a little bit of a mess, but art resin, can't go wrong there. The only other polymer clay that I do use is the Pardo. No smell at all. It's a little smoky in the oven. And then I do use the Kato poly paste, Repel gel, and the Kato liquid clay. Yep, I love me some Kato polymer clay, so I bought lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots. I kind of went overboard there, but I'm eager to find out what I can do with all of the colors. So MoldStar 15 and 16 is a favorite product of mine from Smooth On. It's a silicone product, two-part. I do take my safety protocol along with it while I'm making it, just to make extra sure. I started using it in the winter time, and it's, you know, good ventilation is hard to come by in a house that's blasting, you know, your furnace on a very cold Canadian winter. So I do use my safety protocol with it, but the other thing that I found out is it can be heated. So I'm going to see what I can do with using this mold, the silicone mold, and adding some liquid clay and sticking it in my convection oven and see what happens. Now this is a great product. I use this for molding, and this is how I started as I was looking for irritant-free molding products. Flex wax, though, if you look it up, they usually use it for life modeling. So you heat this flex wax up and you put it on a person's body, and then you can create a life cast from it. But I use it and pour it just like I would any sort of two-part silicone. It works very well. So here you have a mold that I made out of flex wax, which is a thermoplastic. And I made this about a year ago. So what's great about it is you can melt it right down to a liquid, an actual liquid, and then you pour it over just like you're doing a regular mold with the silicone, regular two-part silicone, and it will set up nicely, and you can have, it'll last, mine's going on a year or so, so it'll last as long as you decide not to melt it down. I really like using the Pinata inks with the Pardo clay, and however, I'm not quite sure with my process whether or not I like what it looks like with mixing it with Kato clay. Not yet. We'll see what happens. Unscented wipes are a must. Once you're using polymer clay and you're going to go down and take a break, have some coffee or something, you need to wipe your hands. But you got to make sure that whatever wipes you're using doesn't leave any sort of residue. So, sometimes you'll get like wipes that say with aloes or something like that, something like really smooth and silky for your hands. So you might want to initially wipe them off and then wash them off with soap and water. And the reason that you're going to do this is because you don't want to contaminate your polymer clay. The polymer clay shouldn't have any sort of foreign, lotions or anything on it, because by heating it, it might not take completely, and you might get cracks. Absolutely have to have alcohol, isopropyl alcohol on hand. It's great. It cleans your machine. It cleans the inside of your oven, which I do clean my oven at least once a week, and it's easy cleaning. Now the Novus polish is fantastic, and it brings a really nice, beautiful high sheen to polymer clay if you decide to finish it off that way. So there you have it. Everything that I use that I can tolerate as a chem sensitive artist. You might want to check into it. Hit like, comment, follow us. Okay, see you next week when we start busting the myths about Kato polymer clay.